ambassadors and high commissioners, members of the diplomatic corps, political and other leaders, distinguished and invited guests, dear Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, today Kenya is 59 years old. A 59-year mark is a point of either great joy and hope in life or a point of despair. For Kenya, it marks a departure towards a great life ahead. Since 1964, when Kenya became a republic, we have come a long way. Kenyans have worked hard and built a strong nation, a peaceful and respected nation with a wonderful people and great heritage. Mr. President, I have had no greater hope than I have today. As we build on the progress we have made over the years, Kenya is ready for a great takeoff under the Kenya Kwanza plan under your leadership. Although we are facing several challenges, we'll offer you all the support to deliver to the people of Kenya as promised. If anything, we must live as envisioned by our forefathers and freedom fighters who remain great and dear to us every day. They shed their blood for us into the future, but ahead of us is great work. Mr. President, every year we have marked this day with new hope and great aspirations as a people. This year, under your leadership, we take a greater leap, not just into our history, but into the future, especially on the singular aspect of technology and innovation. As a departure from the past, where tech economy was a mirage, poverty, illiteracy, and disease was our common denominator. These three enemies made majority of Kenyans slip into a life of great indignity. Your Excellency, today, Kenya has made a considerable progress in the tech race. We celebrate our young people who have continued to make us proud in this space. We encourage them to move with greater speed and dominate, not only regionally, but also globally, just as we have done in athletics. This is a great tool towards human liberation. Mr. President, this cause is indomitable. This is a path to an equal Kenya, where every child goes to school, every Kenyan has food on the table, where every Kenyan has access to quality and universal health care, where every Kenyan has clean and safe drinking water. We are leaving no one behind in this race. Your Excellency, this is the leadership our nation requires in the 21st century as we move closer to realizing Kenya's Vision 2030. We are also set to reap our demographic dividend since the window of opportunity opens in the year 2039, if we are well prepared. I have no doubt in my mind that we are on the right move as a nation. Before I invite Your Excellency, allow me on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Kenya to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Your Excellency, it is now my singular honor and duty to welcome you to address the people of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President.
Asante sana. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. Deputy President and Pastor Dorcas, our Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, and Mama Tesi, the Honorable Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate, Your Lordship, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, and your Deputy, the Governor of the great city of Nairobi, Your Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, Cabinet Secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, na Wakenya wenzangu wote, hamjambo. Wakenya hamjambo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. Wakenya hoye. Asanteni sana. Mimi nimefurahi sana kwamba katika jamhuri hii ya kwanza kwa serikali ya awamu ya 5 tunasherekea jamhuri kwa njia ama kwa hali tofauti. Today we celebrate this jamhuri in a special way that we have intentionally profiled this jamhuri to be the jamhuri of technology and innovation. We have done so deliberately and intentionally because of the huge potential that exists in our technology and innovation space. And in our midst are friends and partners who today are our guests, and they have come to join us in this celebration, leaders from the tech community and ecosystem. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming Kojo Boake, the Vice President of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, that is the Meta community. Tuwapigie makofi jameni. Also join me in welcoming Fulufelo Badugela from MultiJoice. Tumpigie makofi. And Alex Okosi from Google and YouTube. Tumpigie makofi. Na mama wetu Phyllis Migwi kutoka Microsoft. Tumpigie makofi. Na Salim Egos from Mastermind. Let us celebrate him as well. And Aida Diara from Visa. These great people, tuwapigie makofi tena, wako hapa. These great people have joined us. Please, you can take your seats. These great people have joined us because Kenya is a country of great opportunity, especially in the tech space. And we deliberately chose that this Jamhuri is going to be about innovation and is going to be about technology. And we did so deliberately for various reasons, which I will elaborate. First, when we went round, the people of Kenya told us that they want technology to drive our economy. And that is why we have decided that we are going to have a 100,000-kilometer superhighway that is going to be built to enable internet access our homes, our cities, our towns, and every part of the Republic of Kenya, because that is how we are going to be delivering government services going into the future. Let me also announce that this is a technology and innovation Jamhuri, because we intend to transfer 85% of the remaining government services to the digital space, so that every Kenyan, wherever they are, they do not have to get into any bus to go to get government services or queue in any line to access government services. It will now be possible in 6 months, when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services, it will be possible for Kenyans to access government services from their comfort of their homes and their workplace using the internet, because government services will be available on that platform. Let me also say that we intend to deliver our subsidy program on fertilizer, on e-voucher, that is going to be available to 1.3 million farmers. And I want to encourage our farming community to register themselves, because going forward, our fertilizer subsidy program is going to be dispensed on the internet, on e-voucher, so that we can eliminate brokers and eliminate cartels and ensure that targeted farmers have access to fertilizer. We have also had a conversation of our lifetime, and we have a target of 1 million jobs from our technology space. We've had a candid conversation with our technology and digital space leaders that Kenya, going into the future, we're going to have 1 million jobs, and that is why it is necessary and it is important that all of us understand the importance of technology and the place of innovation going into the future. Let me also say, as we deliver our universal health coverage, our tech community is going to be the space for e-health, and therefore our universal health coverage is going to be provided on a digital backbone and ensure that all health records are made portable, courtesy of technology, because that is the intention of our administration going into the future. And let me say that if there was any doubt in anybody's mind about the of technology, just look at what has happened to the Hustler Fund. In a record 12 days, today, the Hustler Fund has 15.4 million subscribers. In just 12 days, the Hustler Fund has lent 7.54 billion Kenya shillings to approximately to the 7.4 to the 15 million Kenyans that are on that space. And let me also say that the Hustler Fund has accumulated savings of close to 400 million shillings in just 12 days, well on track to 1 billion shillings in the next few days. It confirms the power of technology. Without committees, without secretariat, that is what the Hustler Fund has achieved. And the good news And I want to thank the millions of Kenyans who have borrowed on this platform. That today, 1.2 billion shillings has already been repaid by Kenyans who borrowed on this platform. And it is clear that two things have come around because of what you have seen on the Hustler Fund. Number one, it has provided a platform for millions of Kenyans who have been looking for an opportunity to save. And number two, the Kenyans borrowing on this platform, they have not been derailed by the rhetoric of those who are against the Hustler Fund. Let me say for the record and ask fellow leaders, my good friends, you are borrowing your mortgage at 3%. You have the capacity to borrow from your bank at 14%. Why do you want to derail the hustlers who today are suffering from shylocks and from predatory lenders, and they are being charged 360%? And you're telling them not to pay money given to them at 8% so that they can go back and pay at 360%. Be humane, be kind. Please allow the people borrowing on the Hustler Fund to also enjoy low interest rates the way you and your families are enjoying. Do not derail those Kenyans who have suffered for long from now accessing money on a digital platform that is of interest, that is reasonable. And as we enter the 6th decade of our independence, we can proudly cite many achievements and impressive progress made through our own consistent efforts as evidence that our freedom struggle was neither an empty political adventure nor a reactionary born of idle resentment. We gather as a nation to commune with our forefathers who were long-suffering innocent victims of imperial plunder and colonial oppression, yet also heroic defenders of our inalienable sovereignty and valiant fighters of our freedom. On Jamhuri Day, we celebrate the moment when Kenya proclaimed itself a free democratic republic. It is also a time to reflect deeply on the founding aspirations of our nation. And I want to say, while I move along with you, that in the early moments of this administration, we engaged to ensure that the challenges that millions of Kenyans told us in this campaign, we began the journey to address those challenges. One of the biggest and notorious challenge is the challenge of high cost of living. And it is imperative that we have a clear plan. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, this high cost of living, we are tackling it in 3 phases. Number one, our first agenda when we came into office is to ensure that we encourage farmers to access affordable fertilizer. And that is why we reduced fertilizer from 7,000 shillings to 3,500 so that we can enable our farmers to be able to enhance their productivity in our journey towards making food affordable in our republic. Our second agenda, and I have said this, is that we are going to import 10 million bags of different assorted types of food, including maize, so that we can close the gap temporarily because of the harvest that was limited in this year's agricultural season, occasioned by climate change and failure of rain. And thirdly, we are now in the process working with the private sector to ensure that we import 300,000 metric tons of fertilizer for the planting season that is going to come from January going into April. Already, 2 million bags have arrived in the country and 4 million bags are on the way. And I want to assure our farmers that we are going to stand with them to make sure that government provides adequate seed and adequate subsidized fertilizer to make sure that our productivity is enhanced so that we can produce enough food and reduce the challenges of the high cost of living in our republic. The second item that we must tackle is the issue of ensuring that we create enough jobs for the millions of young people in our nation. Apart from what we are doing with the tech community, our housing plan, which we have rolled out in earnest, already we have launched the construction of 40,000 units of houses in the last 3 months. And in the remaining months of this year, we're going to launch the construction of 160,000 additional houses across the Republic in our quest to ensure that we have 200,000 houses built around the country, both social and affordable houses, so that the people of Kenya can not only have access to jobs, we can grow our enterprises, and we can ensure that the 6.5 million Kenyans who today live in informal settlements have become home owners. I want to request and ask all county governments. We already have 15 county governments that are working with us on this plan. I want to ask all the remaining county governments to come on board so that we can move together in the journey to ensuring that we create jobs, we build our enterprises, and Kenyans have access to affordable housing. Let me also say, on the matter of ensuring that we have adequate food, our fourth item is to ensure that we transit from rain-fed agriculture to agriculture under irrigation. And that is why we are building 100 new mega dams around the country under our new program of private-public partnerships that will be anchored on water purchase agreements that will be underwritten by the government of Kenya, so that we can work with the private sector to produce enough irrigation facilities and also to ensure that we supply and harvest enough water for us to power the engines of our irrigation and transit from the 670,000 land under irrigation to 3 million in the coming years, so that we can also produce enough food using irrigation. Let me also say that under our value addition, agro-processing and manufacturing sector, our triple program and intervention that will bring on board the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone, all the other economic zones, including the Naivasha Industrial City and our city in Athi River. We will ensure that going into the future, our industrialization agenda that has been going down, which has gone from 9% to 7%, we have agreed with our private sector that we will re-engineer that space using the products we have, from coffee to tea to avocado to leather to cotton. And we have agreed that industrialization is going to contribute from our 7% at the moment. We want to move it to 20% of our GDP by 2030, because that is the way we are going to add value to our products, we are going to create jobs, and we are also going to create wealth. Let me also say that, mindful of this solemn obligation to do right, while laying the foundation of a flourishing nation for future generations, I have pursued several interventions since I took office nearly 3 months ago with the urgency, zeal, and focus that the moment demands. Since then, we have engaged successfully to reorient policing operations from a heavy and illegitimate reliance on illegal and extrajudicial interventions, which frequently entailed such intolerable violations as abductions, torture, disappearance, and murder. There is now consensus that a new policing paradigm is at hand, and it is possible to achieve a high level of security for our citizens and also observe their rights and freedoms to the greatest extent. I commend the entire National Police Service, from the constable on the beat to the Inspector General, for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced the changes and enhanced our general security through increased vigilance and improved relationship with citizens and their communities. Before the end of the year, I will be appointing a task force to review the terms of service of our Kenya Police Service. It's instructive to note that the people of Kenya talk to us about predatory lending. And I engaged, when I came into office, 3 fintech institutions on the way forward in making mobile loans more affordable. As a result, there was a drastic reduction in the interest charged on the police service, signaling a new era of affordable credit for borrowers. I also engaged lenders on the need to liberate more than 4 million borrowers from the prejudice arising from being blacklisted under the Credit Reference Bureau framework, which arbitrarily paralyzes their business prospects. We have secured an agreement with the lenders to abandon this punitive approach and shift to a credit scoring system which incorporates incentives for both lender and borrower. Let me also say that under our program on managing climate change, we will ensure that we build our 15 billion tree cover to be planted around the country. We will build it from the bottom up. The Ministry of Interior has the instructions to start with the 45,000 people at the bottom of the provincial administration pyramid, the Nyumba Kumi leaders, 45,000 of them, coming to the 9,000 assistant chiefs and 4,000 chiefs, to ensure that we build from the bottom going up our tree planting exercise to ensure that we reach the 15 billion trees planted across the country. And I want to thank the governor of Nairobi. We are going to be working with the county government of Nairobi in the greening of our city. And we have agreed with the governor that beginning January, we are going to hire 11,000 young people to create the army that will green our city, those that were working under the old program of Kazi Mtaani. I want to ask other governors in other parts of Kenya to join us in this exercise of tree planting, because it is an exercise of our moment to manage the effects of climate change. As you all are aware, we also appointed a working party to look into our education system. I want to say the preliminary report from the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform has been brought to the government, and we have agreed that our junior secondary schools will now be domiciled in our primary schools to ensure that we save parents the huge costs that would go with taking their children to schools far away from their homes. And I have also instructed the Teacher Service Commission to commence the hiring of the largest cohort of teachers in independent Kenya. We are going to hire 30,000 teachers by early next year to provide instruction in our schools. Let me also say a request from Kilifi County that the Pemba community living in Kilifi County that has for a long time suffered without identity, the government of Kenya is now going to work on the modalities to ensure that the Pemba community acquire citizenship of the Republic of Kenya. We are proud of Kenya's consistent record of leadership to advance the cause of peace, cohesion, security, and stability in our region. Under various regional and continental frameworks, and with the support of the international partners, we are deploying our position as a regional anchor state for the benefit of our neighbors and our region. My predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, working under the aegis of the Africa Union, is engaged in mediation efforts to restore peace and stability in Ethiopia's Tigray region, and under the EAC initiative to restore normalcy in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Our interests, ladies and gentlemen, are nested in a dense network of reciprocal diplomacy, which helps our agenda to attract investment, forge partnerships, and create markets for our exports and employment young people locally and overseas. In the last 3 months, we have aggressively sustained our pursuit of mutual beneficial endeavor with friends and partners all over the world. We have engaged productively with EAC member states, the governments of South Africa, United States, United Kingdom, Spain, Qatar, Germany, and South Korea to scale up bilateral ties and to explore avenues for collaboration in the multilateral space. We have forged agreements on mobilizing investments and financing in a wide variety of sectors, and we will continue to engage the international community as we implement our plan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to innovate our way into the future. It is for this reason that with this Jamhuri, we as a nation are staking our claim by rallying Kenyans to begin the work of designing a world much richer, much safer, and freer than the one we have known. Innovation is frequently associated with technology, and we must avoid the pitfalls of viewing technology and innovation as a preoccupation with things at the expense of people. The most consequential breakthroughs in technological innovation have greatly enhanced human well-being. Among the Innovation Week's champions are the winners of 2022 HALT Prize, Eco Banner, from St. Paul's University, who employed the concept of green and circular economy to produce biodegradable sanitary pads from banana fiber. I have asked the Ministry of Education, in recognition of their innovation, to work with these young innovators on the delivery of our commitment to provide sanitary pads for schools in Kenya. The Kenya Innovation Week attracted large global technology firms whose senior leaders made their way to Kenya to witness firsthand the magnitude of the innovation potential of our Silicon Savannah. We have agreed on partnerships to support local organizations in providing opportunities for young people to acquire training and skills on various aspects of digital productivity. We are also exploring ways of making the benefits of monetization of online activity available to Kenyan content creators on more platforms. I have spoken directly to Meta, the parent company of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, to monetize content for our digital entrepreneurs that will exponentially multiply their incomes and create employment opportunities for others. I am impressed and encouraged by the power of monetization and remote jobs. This is the way to the future. And I was asking myself, if I was not a state officer, I wonder what the content of my small Facebook page with 2.3 million followers would earn for me daily. As we have witnessed today from the performances that have given us thrilling entertainment, our creative sector is ready with thousands of highly talented and promising young people waiting to seize opportunities to stream high-quality content for monetization. My administration, in that context, will work with all our tech community to ensure that we actualize the monetization that will ensure that these young people get royalties and money for what they are doing in the tech space. On sports, my administration recognizes sports and the arts as a major industry that can employ millions of our youth and help grow our economy. This is why we have moved with speed to get our football back, to protect Kenya's proud athletes' pedigree from doping, and to streamline collection and distribution of royalties from our artists. Through the revolutionary Talanta Hela plan, we will rebuild and monetize our sports and creative industry. As part of this plan, I will champion a grassroots football development program that will see national government work with county governments to invest heavily in youth football. Arrangements are at an first stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament to be contested by under-19 teams from all 47 counties. We will work with our county governors for each county to build a team right from the ward level. This is the first step in our Football Vision 2030, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Together, let us build Kenyan football from the grassroots of our villages to the grand stage of the World Cup. I suggest to the ministry that the finals of these inter-county teams should be held on Jamhuri Day every year so that we can celebrate the teams from across Kenya. We are ready to take our place as the digital workforce of the world. Our commitments under the digital superhighway component of our plan were intended for this purpose. To underscore our intent, we are today unveiling several cohorts of graduates whose training was supported under arrangements between the government of Kenya and the private sector. Safaricom retrained a number of university and TVET graduates to meet the digital industry needs of software engineering and data. Also, graduating today are the Presidential Digital Talent Program, a class of talented youth selected by the Information and Communication Authority for training through internship. Additionally, it is a big day for the beneficiaries of the Kenya Commercial Bank Tujiajiri program. And finally, the Google Hustler Academy, who underwent an intensive and interactive training program, are ready to begin their journey in a world of work and opportunity that is now familiar territory. I now request all these graduates present today to rise. Hawa ndio wangwana wako hapo. And let me say the following to them. Fortune rewards the bold. I congratulate the young people who followed their curiosity and passion to explore new ideas and possibilities, and are now at the threshold of a new chapter in their lives and careers. I can say that through this disruptive graduation, you have now been granted the power to create, to connect, to innovate, and to inspire. I wish you success and God's blessings. Congratulations. You can now take your seats. Asanteni sana. We also congratulate 29-year-old Nelly Cheboy, the founder of TechLead Africa, who this morning was declared the CNN Hero of the Year for her work in creating computer labs for Kenyan children to access opportunities in the digital world. Congratulations, Nelly, for connecting and inspiring thousands of Kenyan children. As promised, everyone present in this stadium today will get a free scholarship on global entrepreneurship and innovation from the Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. It is now time to keep that promise. There is a QR code near you. Umeipata? Scan and access the scholarship now. A 16-unit course that would have costed you 100,000 is now accessible to you for free, courtesy of the Innovation Jamhuri. I also appreciate the firms and organizations which have stepped forward to support our vision to make Kenya the hotbed of innovation. We will continue to do our part and make such partnerships bigger in future, and you are always welcome to be part of Kenya's journey to greatness. As part of this endeavor, KONSA has started the distribution of 23,000 virtual desktops to TVETs to enable students exploit remote job opportunities across Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, we are committed to support young people in re-establishing this country as the Republic of Ideas and the home of innovation. Through a dedicated startup fund, support the most innovative ideas each year to scale up into viable enterprises and commercial brands that will provide employment and drive our economic growth. The government of Kenya will work with our academia to establish the Kenya Open University within the next 1 year. I urge our scholars and intellectuals to play their part in democratizing education and open the way for anyone and everyone to quench their thirst of knowledge, education, and training. In line with the new focus of our national celebrations, Embu County will host the 2023 Madaraka Day celebrations under the theme Universal Healthcare. In conclusion, it is our time to make a contribution that will define Kenya for posterity as the envy of nations and the country that we, our children, and their children will be proud to call home. We also have a task of preparing the nation for its future by equipping and empowering our youth to take charge as leaders in a brave new world through innovation. Let us therefore rally and join in our efforts in the timeless spirit of Harambee to exploit the opportunities at hand and hasten our progress into the future. Nasema asanteni sana kwa kunisikiza, na watakia baraka ya Mungu na muwe na Krismasi njema. Mungu awabariki sana. Asanteni, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you very much.
Nitaomba baada ya hotuba ya Mheshimiwa Rais tuweze kusimama sote Niombe tusimame sote tafadhali, walioko kwenye uga. Tutamaliza sherehe yetu kwa wimbo wa taifa, na baada ya wimbo wa taifa nitaomba wote walioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi kutulia ili tuweze kutangaza itifaki ya kuondoka. Nitaomba sote tulioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi tuwe watulivu. Niombe sasa kumwomba kwa heshima Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto kuweza kuondoka, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi Jenerali Robert Kibochi, na kisha baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, Naibu wa Rais ataondoka. Wale wengine mkubali kuwa watulivu ili tuweze kwenda kwa itifaki inayofaa. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, pamoja na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, nitatoa nafasi hiyo kwake Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka. Na baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, vile Naibu wa Rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na Mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi vile watapata nafasi ya kuondoka. Anaondoka sasa Mheshimiwa Rais. Asanti sana kwa kutuongoza kwa sherehe ya leo, makala ya 59 sherehe ya Jamhuri. Baada ya Naibu wa Rais kuondoka, Spika wa Bunge la Kitaifa na Bunge la Seneti pamoja na Jaji Mkuu watafuata. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Rais akisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi anachukua nafasi yake kuondoka. Thank you, Your Excellency. Msafara wa Mheshimiwa Rais unaondoka, nikiomba msafara wa Naibu wa Rais kuwa karibu ili tuweze kumpa nafasi Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na Mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi nao waweze kuondoka. Vile watafuatwa na msafara wa Spika wa Bunge la Kitaifa na Bunge la Seneti pamoja na Jaji Mkuu. Unaondoka sasa msafara wa Mheshimiwa Rais na utafuata msafara wa Naibu wa Rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua pamoja na mama yetu Mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi. Ili tuweze kwenda kwa itifaki na ustahili. Kwa hivyo baada ya Spika wa Bunge la Taifa na yetu kuondoka na mabalozi kuondoka,
1 2 1 2 Na mtazamaji, hizo zimekuwa ni sherehe za Jamhuri za 59 ambapo bila shaka kiongozi wa taifa William Ruto ameweza kuliongoza taifa kwenye shughuli hii muhimu ama sherehe hizi muhimu kwa taifa la Kenya, ambapo Kenya inaendelea kujivunia uhuru wake tangia mwaka wa 1963 na kisha baadaye kwa jamhuri mwaka 1964 samahani. Na bila shaka kwenye hotuba yake rais hivi leo amezungumza mengi kuhusiana na maazimio yake pamoja na serikali yake kwa Wakenya, akizungumzia haswa jinsi ya kukabiliana na swala la ukosefu wa kazi na jinsi ambavyo amesisitiza ni kwamba kupitia teknolojia na ubunifu kwamba vijana takriban milioni 1 watakuwa wakipata kazi. Kando na hayo ama kusisitiza umuhimu wa teknolojia humu nchini, Rais William Ruto amezungumzia kuhusiana na jinsi ya kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima hapa nchini wanapata pembejeo kwa bei nafuu ili kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wanaweza kuzalisha chakula kwa wingi na ili kuweza kukabiliana na janga la ukame ambao hapa nchini takriban wa Kenya milioni 4 sasa hivi wanaendelea kuhangaika. Mwenzangu Serafina Robi, umeweza kumsikiza Rais Dr. William Ruto hivi leo amezungumzia haswa kuhusiana na masuala ya ubunifu na teknolojia. Labda unaweza, ni kipi ambacho wewe kimekugusa?
Ameweza kuzungumzia mambo mengi kadha wa kadha katika hotuba yake hii leo, na vile vile ameweza kuwasihi wale ambao labda hapo awali walikuwa na tashwishi kuhusiana na tuseme hizo hela za hustler fund. Ameweza kusema kuwa basi kufikia sasa hivi kuwa kwa siku 12 tu ambazo zimeweza kupita, watu ambao wameweza kujiandikisha ni zaidi ya milioni ama bilioni 50.4, na vile vile kati ya pesa ambazo zimeweza kutolewa ni bilioni 7.54, na vile vile watu ambao wameweza kupata hela kutoka kwenye huo mkopo wa hustler fund ni takriban watu milioni 15, na vile vile zile pesa ambazo wameweza kupata mafaida kutokana na hiyo mikopo ambayo wanawapa wa Kenya ni takriban shilingi milioni 400 kwa siku tu hizi 12. Kwa hivyo akiwaambia tu wa Kenya kuwa mfumo huu wa kidijitali umeweza kusaidia sana wasiweze kuwa na tashwishi yoyote.
Bila shaka ameweza kusisitiza na umuhimu wa dijitali, jinsi ambavyo wa Kenya hivi leo yani unaweza kuagiza hizo pesa kupitia kwa rununu yako, na hiyo ndio teknolojia ambayo tunazungumzia. Bila shaka amezungumzia masuala mengi kando na hustler fund, pia ameweza kuzungumzia swala la upanzi wa miti humu nchini, akisema kwamba hivi karibuni anatarajia taifa zima litakuwa limepanda miti bilioni 15, na hii ni katika kaunti zote 47, akisisitiza na kuziomba kaunti mbalimbali ama serikali za kaunti kuweza kujumuika naye katika mpango huu ili kuhakikisha kwamba Kenya ni mojawapo wa nchi ambazo zinaendelea kupambana na hali ya mabadiliko ya hali ya anga humu duniani.
Bila shaka vile vile hapo kwenye upanzi wa miti vile vile ameweza kusema kuwa hapa jijini Nairobi kutakuwa na watu takriban 11,000 ambao wataweza kupata ajira katika ule mpango ambao ameuita kama Green the City. Katika tu majukumu ya kuweza kusaidia kuweza kuendeleza upanzi wa miti, na vile vile akaweza kugusia pia masala ya afya, ile universal health coverage. Akasema kuwa kufikia hivi sasa basi Wakenya wataweza kupata mambo mengi tu ya kiafya kupitia kidijitali, kupitia mfumo wa e-health.
Kando na hayo Serafina, ameweza pia kuzungumzia swala la mtaala mpya wa elimu, na hasa hapa tunazungumzia wanafunzi wa grade 6 ambao sasa hivi wanatarajiwa kujiunga na junior secondary. Hapo awali ilikuwa kwamba wanafunzi hawa wa grade 6 wataweza kujiunga na shule za sekondari, lakini kulingana na yale ambayo rais hivi leo ametangaza ni kwamba wanafunzi hawa wa grade 6 wataendelea katika zile shule ambazo wapo hivi, akisema kwamba takriban walimu 30,000 mwaka ujao Januari watakuwa wakiandikwa kazi ili kuweza kufanikisha mfumo huu wa elimu.
Hilo ni jambo ambalo niliona Wakenya walilipigia makofi sana, hata walimu walipiga makofi, kwani alisema kufikia mwaka ujao basi hao walimu 30,000 wataweza kuajiriwa ili kuweza kusaidia mfumo huu wa elimu, hasa kwa wanafunzi ambao watakuwa wamefanya mtihani wao wa darasa la 6 kuweza kwenda katika junior secondary ambazo zitaweza kuwa katika shule za kimsingi. Na vile vile tumeweza kuona masala mengi tu, ameweza kuzungumzia masala ya talanta, masuala ya michezo. Vile vile akasema kuwa michezo hii itakuwa ikifanyika siku za Jamhuri baada ya sherehe hizi, ambapo zitakuwa zikifanyika vile vile kote nchini kwa magatuzi yote 47.
Bila shaka rais ameweza kugusia masuala mengi, na pia vile vile ameweza kuelezea mpango alionao kuhakikisha kwamba uchumi wa taifa umeimarika, huku akiwahimiza Wakenya waendelee kutia bidii. Vile vile kwenye swala hilo la Hustler Fund, anasema wale ambao wanapiga kelele kuhusiana na mpango huo, anawauliza, mnataka Wakenya wachukue loni zilizo na riba ya juu wakati serikali inawapa Wakenya hawa riba ya chini? Kwa hivyo ni mambo mengi ambayo bila shaka yameweza kusemwa hapa siku ya leo na Rais Dr. William Ruto, na bila shaka ameweza pia kuzungumzia masuala mengi ambayo serikali inanuia kufanya, ikizingatiwa tu ni hivi majuzi ambapo sasa wamechukua hatamu za uongozi. Miaka 5 ijayo ni yapi watakuwa wametimiza kati ya yale ambayo wamesema wataweza kufanya. Sisi hapa tutaweza kuwapa jicho, na bila shaka tutakuwa tukikueleza hatua baada ya hatua yale yatakayokuwa yakifanyika.
Bila shaka kama ulivyotueleza Gatonye, masala hayo ameweza kugusia mambo mengi sana. Vile vile ujenzi wa nyumba mbalimbali, akiweza kusema kuwa nyumba zitaweza kujengwa katika magatuzi mbalimbali. Kwa hivyo Wakenya wana mengi ya kufaidi kutokana na ahadi ambazo zimeweza kutolewa hii leo na Rais Dr. William Ruto.
Na bila shaka kutoka hapa katika uga huu wa Nyayo, ama uga huu wa kitaifa wa Nyayo, Robi, naona wananchi wameendelea kusalia kuketi, lakini kwa sasa msafara wa rais unaondoka pamoja na wageni ambao walikuwa wamealikwa hapa, viongozi serikalini wanaondoka kutoka uga huu baada ya kukamilika kwa sherehe hii ambayo bila shaka imekuwa ya kufana sana. Na leo matumbuizo yalikuwa moto.
Yalikuwa moto. Hadi ule gavana wa Nairobi Johnson Sakaja ameweza kusema kwa kuanzia hii leo basi ni sherehe.
Ni sherehe. Inaitwa Nairobi Festival.
Nairobi Festival. Hapa wale alikuwa amesema vibe of the city. Basi hao waigizaji ambao tumeweza kuwaona hapa watakuwa wanawatumbuiza haswa katika ule ukumbi ambao umeweza kufunguliwa, ambao ulikuwa unatengenezwa. Kwa hivyo amewasihi Wakenya waweze kufika pale ili waweze kutumbuizwa na vipaji vipya vya vijana ambao tumeweza kuwaona katika sherehe hizi za Jamhuri Day.
Naona mwelekezi wetu anasema sasa tukunje hili jamvi kwa sababu ya muda, na hatuna mengi ya kusema isipokuwa mtazamaji, baadaye tutakuwa tukikuandalia taarifa tofauti kuhusiana na sherehe za leo hapa Nairobi na pia kote nchini. Kutoka hapa Nyayo hatuna la ziada, Robi. Mimi naitwa Beatrice Gatonye Ngetich, imekuwa fahari yangu kujumuika nawe pamoja na mwenzangu
Sarafina Robi, na kutakia Jamhuri Day nzuri.
Happy Jamhuri Day.
Happy Jamhuri Day.
Thank you, Sarafina Robi and British Gatonye Ngetich, being part of the team bringing you the live coverage from the Nyayo National Stadium as the country marks the 59th Jamhuri Day celebrations. My name is Irene Muchuma Odem. On sign language interpretation, we have Lensa Odinga. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with the news. Stay with us.
Imperfections, blackheads, try Garnier's Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, powered by salicylic acid and purified charcoal to reduce pimple-causing germs by 99.5%. One product, 3 uses. Garnier Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal. By Garnier, naturally.
Now coming to sit is our Chancellor, and by the charter of the university, the Chancellor is the one who confers the degrees. So you're all very, very welcome. Our guest speaker, Professor Alex Eze, our University Chancellor, Honorable Professor Margaret Kobia, the Chairman of the University Council, the Archbishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya, the Most Reverend Dr. Jackson Ole Sepit, the Provincial Secretary, Mission Strategy Research and Linkages, immediate former Vice Chancellor, St. Paul's University, the Right Reverend Professor Joseph Galgalo, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Ambassador Dr. Simon Nabukwesi, CEO, Commission for University Education, Professor Mike Courier, the Vice Chancellor, Reverend Canon Professor James Kombo, members of the Board of Trustees and the University Council, Governor Kiambu County, Honorable Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Senator Kiambu County, Honorable Karungo Thangwa, Limuru Member of Parliament, Honorable Engineer John Kirago, Women Rep Kiambu County, Honorable Anne Wamuratha, national and county government leaders present, vice chancellors from other universities, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, our graduates of 2022, students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and praise the Lord. You are very, very welcome to the 31st graduation ceremony of St. Paul's University. We thank God for a good weather. And to start us off, we now invite the choir led by the Administration Police Band to lead us in the Kenya National Anthem and the East African Community Anthem, and thereafter we will receive an opening prayer by our university chaplain, the Reverend Samuel Kivinji.
Chỉ với 200k là mình đã có ngay cho em 5 can nước giặt, tặng thêm 2 can nữa là 7 can các anh chị nhé. Mua 5 mình được tặng thêm 2 can nữa. Combo 7 can như thế này mới chỉ có 200k thôi. Các anh chị nhanh tay đặt hàng theo đúng số hotline trên màn hình để mình được áp dụng chương trình thành công các anh chị nhé. Đây là dòng nước giặt cao cấp hàng Thái Lan các anh chị ạ, cực kỳ là đậm đặc luôn. Và đang trong thời buổi kinh tế lạm phát rất là khó khăn như thế này thì bên em sẽ hỗ trợ giá cho tất cả các gia đình nhà mình chỉ với mức giá 200k mà mình được hẳn 7 can liền. Và các anh chị quan sát này, khi em khui nắp ra mình quan sát trực tiếp cho bên em nhé. Cái nước giặt của nó rất là đậm đặc và cực kỳ là thơm luôn các anh chị ạ. Mở nắp sản phẩm ra thôi là các anh chị đã cảm nhận được ngay cái mùi thơm của nó rồi. Rất là sánh như thế này các anh chị nhé. Và một cái can như thế này